Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve another SQL problem from LeetCode website. And the name of this problem is customers who visited but did not make any transactions. And today is our day 51 of 100 days of SQL challenge where I will be solving one question each day. And I hope you guys are also solving one question with me to practice SQL. And we are solving SQL 50 series, right? And this is an easy level problem, so if you know joins, then you will be easily able to solve this problem. Now let us read the problem and try to solve this question. So we have this visits table where I have two columns, that is visit ID and customer ID, and the data type of both of these columns is integer. Visit ID is the column with unique values for this table. This means that this visit ID column only have the unique values. This means that this visit ID is the primary key column for this table. Now, this table contains information about the customers who visited the mall. Okay. And then we have another table, that is transactions table, where I have three columns and the data type of those three columns is integer. We have transaction ID, visit ID and the amount. So transaction ID is a column with unique values for this table, means that this transaction ID is the primary key column for this transactions table. Now this table contains information about the transactions made during the visit ID. And what we need to do is we need to write a solution to find the IDs of the users who visited without making any transactions and the number of times they made these type of visit. So we need to find out the customers who visited but did not make any transaction, and then we have to also find the number of times they visited. And we have to return the result table sorted in any order, so we don't have to do order by. And they have given us the example of inputs as well. So for example, this visits, they have the visit ID and customer ID. So for example, this customer with customer ID 23 had visited with the visit ID 1. Okay. And this let's say this customer ID that is 54 have visited with the visit ID as 5. Now in transactions table we have transaction ID, visit ID and amount. So let's see, for this customer ID 23, he visited with visit ID 1. So this is the customer, that is 23. Now this customer has done transaction with the transaction ID 12 and they paid this much of amount, right? So this means that this customer had visited the mall and this customer had also made the transaction. I don't need those customers. I need the customers who visited but did not make any transaction. So for example, this, let's say the customer ID 30. So for example, this customer ID 30 had visited the mall with visit ID 4, and this in this transactions table the visit ID 4 is not available. So this means that this customer 30 did not make any transactions, right? But he visited because it has the visit ID as 4. So I need those customers. So let's just solve this problem. Now in the output I need the customer ID. So customer ID I can get from this visits table, and the second is the count of number of transactions they made. So for to see the transactions or the customer who do not made any transaction, I need to join these tables, and after joining I can see that which customer have not done transaction. So for those customers the transaction ID will be null. Okay, and let me just try to solve this. So from this visits table, let me give alias as v, right? And it's a good practice to write all the keywords in capital letters, right? From this visits table I want to do join, but now the question is what type of join I will do. So if I, let's say if I do inner join, okay, so if I do inner join, only the values that is common in this both of these columns, that is visit id this from visits table and visit id this from transaction table, those only will come. I don't get all the visit id column, right? So that's why I don't have to do inner join. So what I will do is I need the all of these visits id. So for this I will do left join, because I am considering this visits table as a left table, right? So what I will do, I will do left join. Left join which table? That is transactions table. Transactions table as, let me give alias as t, right? And on which column? So as you can see, visit id is common in both of the tables. So I will say on v dot visit id should be equals to t dot visit id, right? And now to retrieve the records we have to use the select statement. So select what I need to select. Now let me say that I am selecting everything to show you people, so that you people understand it better. I want visit id. Let me say I also want customer id for now, and let me say I also want transaction id, and I want the visit id. I also I got already, so I will not do it again, and I want the amount, right? And if I run this query, now there will be one error, that is visit id is ambiguous. So it will not identify that from which table I want the visit id. So let me just show you, and then we will see what we can do. So yeah, we got this error that column visit id in field list is ambiguous. So we have to specify that from which table I want to get this record. So I can say that from v, that is from visits table, I want this column, right? And let me now run this. All right, so we get this output, right? We get this output, and let me, yeah, so this output. Now as you can see that for the visit id that does not make any transaction, for those the transaction id will be null, and the amount will also null. So this is very obvious that if they don't have done any transaction, then they don't pay, right? All right, so we can easily say that we can filter down this rows. We can say that where the transaction id is null, because I want those customers. So I can say that where this customer id is null. You can say that where amount is null, when in the same thing. So, and now let me run this. Okay, now I get this as my output, right? I get this as my out. Just wait for a minute. Okay, so we don't see anything in the output. That is because I have put customer id instead of transaction id. So let me just correct it. All right, now this is my output, right? So I got the customer id that I want, but now I need the number of transactions they made. So I don't want other columns, so I will just remove other columns. So I need only the customer id. So let me just remove this, and I don't want these two as well. And now I can say that if I do count of this in the this output, if I do count, I will get the number of times they visited. So I will say count star, or you can put the one. So count this as the, I want to give this as my alias. So as this, and now let me just run this. So there is wrong, yeah. So definitely I need to do group by as well. So group by this customer ID. Okay, and now we are good to go. And let me just run the code. Yeah, it gets accepted. And now let me just quickly submit the code as well. And guys, if you are liking my videos, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment as well. And please do one question each day. And thank you so much for watching the video. Time limit exceeded. Why is this? Let me just again submit this. Yeah, now it gets accepted. So thank you so much for watching the video.